Good afternoon. Happy Sunday, everyone out there. My name is Dr. Susan Feneck, and I am the founder and CEO of Juvenile Justice Impact. And today we have with us Las Vegas Metro Police Officer Adrian Hunt. How are you doing, Adrian?
Greetings to everyone. I'm doing well. I'm doing phenomenal.
Well, thank you so much. What's that?
It's a great day besides the home team losing today, the Raiders, just now. But it's been an awesome day.
The weather's beautiful. Yeah, too bad on the loss of the Raiders. Darn it.
Yeah, the weather is unreal. I've never experienced this, and I've been here my whole life. Never experienced these temperatures in December. So this is amazing.
I know. My friends and family back in New York are shoveling snow, and we're all by the pool. It just somehow doesn't make sense, right?
Right, absolutely. But I wonder if we're going to pay for the summer, though. I don't know. Summers usually get hot, so I hope it doesn't carry up the summer. It's scorching hot, so.
Right, and we can justify 120 degrees by saying there's no humidity, right?
Yeah, that's true. I take the dry heat over humidity anyway.
But there's no humidity. But it's still 120 degrees.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I have a few questions for you. How long have you been a police officer, and what made you decide to go into that field?
Hey, yeah, it's great. Thanks for asking. I've been a police officer in the police department for 15 years. I'm actually going on 16. It will be 16 this upcoming July.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. So what it is was I've always wanted to be, an officer, just as a lot of kids do. And it's funny, I have a lot of kid pictures when I was 2 years old, 3 years old, with police helmets and things of that nature. But the main thing is I come from humble beginnings, so I lived in a lot of places where you've seen law enforcement usually on the negative terms, you know what I mean, on bad examples. So I wanted to join and have an impact on the police department to, increase the positive interactions, with law enforcement. So that's what I do now, essentially. Majority of my time I work in community order policing. That's the section I work in. And we deal with a lot of youth, at-risk youth as well, and I've been loving it. It's something that I love doing, and it's my passion working with the youth. It's
incredibly rewarding. You can't put a price tag on it.
Oh, absolutely not. And I think, the things that I've been blessed with in life, tenfold, and I think it has a lot to do with it. Of course, I do a lot of stuff, and I have my own personal mantra, is service above self, but I think, having that mantra, standing by that, I think I've been blessed 10 times over. So I love it.
And we appreciate you. In your opinion, what traits do you feel are essential to being a great police officer?
So definitely being a police officer is 90%, and it's crazy. A lot of people, wouldn't think it, but our best tool is our mouthpiece. So, we call it verbal judo as well. So being able to de-escalate a situation, talking to, a subject or talking to somebody that's, not in a happy place. You know what I mean? I think 95% of the time we see people at their worst. So it's pretty much verbal judo, being able to talk that person down and having an understanding with people. And one of the main things with me is just treating people with respect. And I think that's where sometimes we get separated as being in law enforcement as officers in that aspect of, remembering to respect people, regardless if they're having a bad day. And sometimes that could be difficult, but you get used to it and you got to understand, sometimes that's part of the job, and that's what we signed up for.
What do you feel are some of the differences in youth that you have observed in the past 15 years of being a Las Vegas Metro Police officer?
So I can speak for myself, even coming up, and I have a teenage son, and it's very pivotal to have those conversations with him, just talking about, life in its general. And, and social media plays a huge part of it, I truly believe, because these kids want validation, you know what I mean? So they're doing any and everything to be liked. They're doing anything to be accepted, you know what I mean? I work with a lot of, at-risk youth, and I run a program called DREAM for our department, and it's called DREAM, which stands for Discover, Redirect, Empower, Advocate, and the M is for mentoring. And dealing with a lot of these kids, they're having a lot of issues with, suicide, depression. And, a lot of young ladies that we deal with, it's dealing with that as well, just being social media, being, socially accepted. And it's been a huge issue. So I really think social media has a lot to play with it. And my remedy, even with my own child, is just to have conversations about it, have an understanding on what social media is and looking at it at face value and talking to your kids saying, you know what, that doesn't define you. You know what I mean? As long as your family and your loved ones, love you regardless, social media or anyone that you don't know shouldn't define you or pretty much, think for you. So that's some of the main things that I've seen with the youth that's been a pivotal part of them growing up and them having, being accepted. So that's been huge.
I know that you came to my workshop at the Richard Steele Foundation called Healthy Minds.
Absolutely.
And thank you so much for being such a continued supporter, especially over the past year when we've had all the workshops there. And the Healthy Minds, what we did talk about, we had a lot of leaders that are from the mental health field, and we talked about suicidal ideation, suicide prevention. If it's not you, how do you handle a friend who might feel suicidal, or anyone in your life? And we did the vision boards, remember?
Absolutely. Yep. Some great exercises. Absolutely.
Yep. And
doing great work over there with the Juvenile Justice Impact. Absolutely.
Thank you. And so we're going to be we're going to continue those workshops. We're coming up with different ideas. Some of them I think are going to be up and coming, will be like the anti-bullying. I believe that's a big one.
That's huge right now. It's another huge component of what's going on with a lot of the youth right now. Absolutely.
And it's great because we're able to reach them. And every workshop that we've had, they've been so successful. And the attendance is very high, and I was actually surprised a few times, but they've all come together. I mean, packed, and we do hands-on workshops. We did the vision board last time. We had Q&A, questions and answers for the youth, and they were really heavily involved.
And most of all, was great. The kids are engaged, and it's a lot of good dialogue that's going back and forth. So the exercises has been phenomenal. So, and I learned some things from the youth every time I go as well. So it's twofold. So it's definitely been phenomenal.
Yeah, we definitely, I've learned a lot from them as well because, times are different. Times aren't like, when we were kids, we were outside building forts, playing jailbreak, which is hide and go seek basically. We were building forts. We were just doing all sorts of stuff outside, where now you see all the youth, their kids are, like you said, they're trying to be accepted socially on the social media, and they're glued to their phones, their iPads, they're just, chatting, and it's just such a different lifestyle for them.
Absolutely. And I think that's something that as adults we probably need to start getting involved with as well on how we can be better parents, you know what I mean? Because I know even with my son, and speaking to a lot of kids, I also speak to kids at high schools at least 2 times a week.
Oh, nice.
And the issue with
I'd love to go with you sometime.
Yeah, absolutely. The issue with a lot of these kids are, one, they're not getting enough sleep, you know what I mean? Because a lot of times they're on social media, they're on their phones at night, and they don't have, parenting to regulate that. I know with my son, at 9 o'clock, 9:30, all electronics are taken, and he has to start getting, ready to wind down and prepare for the next day.
How old is he?
I don't think we're implementing. My son is 13. He'll be 14 December 26th.
Oh, nice.
So, yes. So I don't think we're implementing enough as parents and not understanding, because if you think about it, we were kids once, and, we had, our little crushes and boyfriends and girlfriends, and we were on the phone late night, you know what I mean? And, but back then, you had a landline.
I was just going to say, we were on phones with a cord back then, I remember trying to talk to this boy that was in my class, and I think I'd stretched the cord so far the phone almost ripped off the wall.
Absolutely. And then, of course, we can sleep phones, you know what I mean? So, absolutely. So, you understand. So, it's just a different day and age. But definitely, just putting restrictions. And with my son as well, he knows if he doesn't perform in school with good grade, I take a lot of that stuff from him away as well. You know what I mean? And he essentially has to earn it back. But I think, we have to come together as parents, as mentors, and adults to see if we can, get on the same page and come up with plans to regulate this. And then again, it starts with home. It starts with us.
I just came up with a good idea. Maybe what we could do is, with one of the upcoming workshops, we can actually have it geared towards parents.
Oh yeah, absolutely. See, I like now we're cooking.
Yeah, I mean, we'll definitely invite the youth because they always show up, which is phenomenal. But I mean, maybe we could just have all of the parents come along because it's hard to keep up with the trends and social media and what's going on. And I mean, I don't know how to use any of that stuff. I mean,
yeah, you're absolutely right.
But I think that would be a good idea because I'm sure a lot of these parents, they probably half of them don't even know that their kids are even on social media at midnight.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's funny, about a year ago, I'm a pretty strict father. I found out that my son had an account, that I didn't know about. You know what I mean? So that was something. That was something.
He's trying to get away with something from someone like you. What the heck?
Right. So absolutely. So yeah. So when you put it in perspective, it's fast. Things that we didn't have to deal with that they're dealing with. That we have to make sure we're on the lookout for. They have so much access to more things than we had coming up. So, that's the pros and cons to what we had coming up, compared to theirs.
And I can't remember exactly who it was, but they were describing to me how a youth could be getting groomed by someone who's about to sex traffic them by saying, "Oh, hi, you're pretty, you're cute, whatever. Let's go meet at the mall." That type of thing.
Absolutely. And we see it all the time in my field. And it's sad because, again, a lot of these kids, they're looking for validation. They're looking for love. They're looking for, they're looking, to be accepted. So once you got a person who is steady feeding their, their thoughts and their mind with these things, sometimes it's that easy for them to say, okay, this person is nice. And they get it misconstrued with, a person being a nice person when this person really has alternative motives. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So absolutely.
And I know Dante has a lot to do with that. He's been
oh yeah,
cleaning that up on our streets. Cleaning that up on our streets for a long time.
Yep. A lot of experience over there in his field as well. So, But yeah, it's tough times. So again, we have to do our part as mentors, as educators to the youth to stay, try to stay in the loop the best way we can, and also, just try to assist what we can, And that's my thing. I tell people all the time: if you're not helping the youth in some way, or fashion, I think you're behind the 8 ball. You know what I mean? And again, you don't have to have your own company. You don't have. If it's just being a mentor to a kid at an elementary school or middle school or high school, or even kids in our families. You'd be surprised the kids in our own families that's going through things and that we really don't know about because we're not really taking the time to sit down and have those tough conversations. So absolutely.
It is so difficult. Today we have to stay on our youth because our youth are our future.
Absolutely. And that's why I have a passion for youth. Dealing with criminals, when you're adults, you're kind of stuck in your ways. But if we can change a lot of the mindset of the youth who are going to be our future, I think that I take my chances on that, more so than a lot of the adults.
100%. What is the biggest law enforcement challenge you see in the community?
Of course, it's still trust. Again, I think that we do some things, but we don't do enough as agencies across the country. Again, I've dedicated my whole life into mentorship, even through my fraternity. As a grad member, we have a mentorship program, and I've been involved with that for years. but we have to be able to really, get into touch and get into sync with our youth so we can assist them in the future.
Sure. Can you tell us a little bit more about your dream program? It just sounds so incredible. And is there a way that people can get involved or volunteer or become a part of it somehow?
Absolutely. So the dream, again, it stands for discover, redirect, empower, advocate, and mentor. And it's the 12-week program that we have dealing with the youth, at-risk youth. And we pretty much throw classes and workshops on personal development and interactive activities that we do with the kids to build bonds. So we do an outing at the boxing gym. We do an outing at rock climbing. We do an outing. We have a tour at UNLV coming up December 9th, I believe. And again, it's just being that mentor, showing them that, you know what, you can be a productive member of society and just trying to shape their minds. You know what I mean? We have also people that come in outside of the community to talk to them as well and give them a little hindsight on what's going on in the professional world. So again, just shaping their mind, and that is something that I had as well coming up as a youth and an adolescent. Is I had mentors as well that did the same thing for me, and it shaped my mind and made me the man I am today. So I'm forever grateful and want to pay it forward. You know what I mean?
Oh, 100%. I look at some of the mentors I've had, and had they not had been in my life, they could have gone so far left.
Absolutely.
When is it? So you have 12-week programs. Are they every 12 weeks? So 12 weeks ends, and then they register for another 12 weeks?
So it's Tuesdays and Thursdays, right? We have one class, one session, and we usually break for about a couple months, and then we start back up again. And essentially, it's a 12-week program, and we just recycle the next kids that we can try to assist and help.
Oh, nice. And how do you pick who attends your program?
So usually we have kids. We usually have probation, kids that's on probation. They reach out to us, the probation officers. We also go to some of the high schools and elementary schools and middle schools that have troubled kids and pretty much say, hey, if you have any troubled kids, is there anything that we can do to assist? And they usually give us pretty much a list of names, and we contact the parents to see if we can assist in that aspect.
Nice. That sounds great. And how long has this been in how long have you had the program?
So the DREAM program has been going on now for about 2 years now.
Oh,
it
nice.
started at Summerlin Area Command, our area command in Summerlin. It started under the leadership of the captain there named Sasha Larkin, and she's done a phenomenal job. And pretty much just handed to some of the officers that really got engaged, and we just ran with it,
Sure. Maybe we could incorporate some of the youth that are always attending at the Richard Steele Foundation, and we can maybe invite them over as well.
Absolutely. Partnership is one of the things that we look into. And if anybody that wants the partnership, you can reach me at A as in Adrian, 9230, H as in Henry, at lvmp.com. A is in Adam, 9230, H as in Henry, at lvmpd.com. You can shoot me an email. And we're definitely looking for partnerships. We have a few that we've aligned with in the past, and it's been great from there.
Wonderful. Well, definitely, Juvenile Justice Impact is 100% on board. And I think that we'll definitely, the youth that we have already that attend the Richard Steele Foundation, for example, you've been at pretty much every single one of them, and you see the attendance. Perhaps what we can do is, I know you have your program on Tuesdays and Thursdays, but maybe if we were to have like a Saturday workshop, that would be something that they would be interested in going to as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, we got to work it out. We can figure it out. Absolutely.
That's a good problem, right?
Absolutely.
Well, what else would you like to discuss? Is there anything else that you feel that our community should know about what you're doing and how you're working with the youth, or some of the impacts that you've had and some of the challenges and how you've overcome them?
Yeah, it's just, again, just, staying the course, again, my main objective is the youth. Again, a lot of the adults, we're stuck in our ways. If we can change the youth lives, that's where I'm at. You know what I mean? Again, that's always been my passion. My mantra, service above self, has always been instilled with me, and that's what I know. So, but we deal with a few challenges with the youth here and there, but it's nothing we can't overcome. But the thing that's mind blowing to me is a lot of youth, a lot of things that they're dealing with. Again, with the peer pressure, wanting to be, wanting acceptance, wanting to be validated through social media. So we can work together and getting this thing under control and instilling pride and encouraging these kids that they're more than what somebody else thinks of them. That's the number one goal.
I think that what's coming out of this is we're coming up with some great ideas for some workshops that we can collaborate on. I think that what we could do is when we have the parents come together for a workshop, we're going to probably start planning out the year, in January. But maybe what we could do is we can have at the same workshop, we can bring the parents along and then also discuss with them and their children social media.
I like that. Absolutely.
Because I know
huge topic right now.
Yeah, because it's just there's so much that parents just don't know about because they're our age, right? So they're coming from a time where
working. Some parents are working, they're busy, in this world, in this day and age, we want to provide and give our kids the best, and we sometimes forget those things and what they're doing and what they're into. So I personally think, and I try to live my life is a good balance. You know what I mean?
Oh, are you there? Uh-oh. Adrian, I think we just lost you for a second, right? Are you there? Hey, Adrian?
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, okay.
I know what happened.
I lost you there for a second. I'm sorry, what were you saying?
So I was saying that I think, with me, it's just been trying to balance, with our youth and our kids on getting them to do, I'm sorry, right by airport, on just getting them to understand and making sure we're connected to them as well. You know what I mean? Again, as parents, we're working, we're busy, we got other things going on, and sometimes I think we neglect our youth, even our own personal youth. And I think the pivotal thing is to stay connected with the kids and give that balance. You know what I mean? And spread it around, especially if you have a few kids. A lot of us have several kids in the household. And it's important to make sure, that we're connected and know what's going on with all of our kids.
Oh, for sure. Because they're in different grades, and different grades means different
Absolutely.
level of knowledge of social media and even how to use it. I think I was in the grocery store the other day, and I saw this little boy on an iPad, and he was just flipping through it and going through all these different, in line with his mom at the grocery store, and I was thinking, wow. We thought we were bad with Pac-Man, right? Back in the day. Uh-oh. I think I lost you.
Absolutely.
Oh, you're there? Okay.
Yep. Yeah, no, I agree with you wholeheartedly. Absolutely.
Right. Well, this has been wonderful. I would love to come to one of your dream programs, one of your meetings, and we can figure out a way that we can collaborate and come to each other's meetings, and we can invite some of the. Wouldn't it be great if we had, for example, the people from the Dream came over, and we can one of the workshops could just be basically talking about what you do in your Dream program, why it was developed, who it's helping, some of the success stories, and I believe the parents and the kids at the boxing club would really appreciate that.
Oh, absolutely. And it's just so many things that we can do. And the great thing, too, and I want to give you, the praise and accolades, Dr. Feneck, because, again, it's to me, it's so pivotal that we stay engaged with the youth and make sure we can reach them the best way we can, because they need us more than ever. They definitely do, And there's so many topics and so many discussions, that needs to be had. And I know what we can, we can help the youth. So we just got to continue to pushing on and just figure out a way that we can collaborate, to come together and just make us stronger.
100%. Well, Las Vegas is definitely lucky to have you. You've made an impact and changed so many lives. You've saved lives. You've encouraged our youth. You're making our community healthier, stronger, better. I mean, you're teaching the youth about perseverance and strength and how to be happy and healthy, not only physically, but physically and mentally. And
thank you.
We're honored to have you, and I'm so thankful and grateful that you've always been a supporter of Juvenile Justice Impact. It just absolutely means the world to me and to all of us, and we've had a lot of fun at the workshops.
Absolutely. We always do.
Yeah.
We always do.
Well,
and again, I want to thank you as well, because it takes a team, it takes a village. I'm sure we've all heard that before, but it truly does. It takes a village for us to come together and just serve to make our community stronger and better.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for being a guest. If you would like to comment or get a hold of me, you can reach me at juvenilejusticeimpact@gmail.com, or you can see us at www.impactjji.com. And Adrian, would you like to repeat one more time how they can get a hold of you or how they can contact the DREAM program? Is there a phone number or a website that they can use?
Absolutely. Again, my email is A as in Adam 9230 H as in Henry @lvmpd.com. The number 725-217-8886. Again, 725-217-8886. I'm out of the Summerlin Area Command here in Las Vegas, Nevada. Any way you want to support, any way you can help. The big thing that we do like to have, we have a graduation after every 12-week course. We try to get the kids like some swag, things of that nature, gift cards, just to show the appreciation of staying the course, and continuing to come to the classes. So, again, if you want to help in any way, you can contact me. If you want to come check it out, if you're ever in town, or if you're in nearby, or if you're here, come check us out. The doors are open to everyone, and you can see the difference that we're making in the community. Thank you.
Is the 725 number your phone number or the phone number to DREAM?
So that is my work cell, which I am over DREAM. So that is my work cell phone number.
Okay.
You can leave a voicemail, and it's also connected to my desk as well. So
wonderful. Thank you. And we always want the public to know that donate. Every dollar does count. And the money that we do receive, Adrian has been at all of the workshops, and he has seen where the money goes. And without the donations, we wouldn't be able to have the workshops. And the workshops are prevention. They're helping the youth. They're saving the youth. They're inspiring the youth. It's just all around. It's just been an awesome year, hasn't it?
Right.
And we're really looking forward to 2022. And I'm going to probably, in the next few weeks or so, come up with a plan for the upcoming year with the other programs that we're going to be having at the Richard Steele Foundation or other places, and definitely collaborate with DREAM. Since we're always going to each other's workshops as it is, we might as well incorporate it, right?
That's it.
Adrian, it's been an honor. It's been a pleasure. You're an earth angel. You're just such a wonderful person, and I'm honored to know you, and I'm
likewise
really looking forward to collaborating with you in 2022. And thank you for your time. And we'll get this up and posted, and we'll send you the link and share it with everyone.
Thank you so much. Absolutely, will do.
Thank you, Adrian. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks.
Bye-bye.
All right.